I stopped watching porn nearly 4 years ago, and I'm going to tell you something that most men cannot tell you. It's all the negative effects that porn is having in your life, most of which you've never considered. And then I'm going to tell you how drastically your life will change and improve once you stop porn for at least 3 years. And then I'm going to tell you the most important step I took in order to stop watching porn forever. Pay attention to all the side effects popping up on the screen. They have all been linked to just casual porn watching. As they pop up, if you can relate to only a couple, maybe you're doing okay. If you relate to a quarter of them, then there's a strong chance porn has its hold on you. Now, if you're experiencing 50% or more of these, porn has sunk in its teeth and it's time to take a long, hard look. Me, personally, before I quit porn, I experienced all of the side effects except marriage on the rocks, only because I wasn't married. If I had been married, I'm pretty sure, I'd be pretty confident that my marriage would have been on the rocks and been pretty rocky. Also notice that the majority of these side effects are not sexually related. They are side effects that are expanding into every area of your life. At this point, hopefully your eyes are being opened up and maybe you're saying to yourself, oh shit, I had no idea porn could do all this to me. I mean, look at some of these. One of the big ones for me was job skipping. When I look at that happened, nothing really excited me. Again, I never thought I was an addict, but when I look at this list, I really dove in and every one of them really hit me. Okay, by now I think you get it. Porn is affecting every area of your life, and perhaps I've opened your eyes to a few things you haven't considered before. And now I'm going to help you fix all of it. But first, if you feel like this video is speaking directly to you, please hit the subscribe button and the bell. It helps the YouTube algorithm find men just like you that need this information. Okay, let's get started. So I want to show you everything that is going to open up and happen to you when you stop watching porn forever. Some of this is going to surprise you. But be mindful, this does not happen overnight. It's going to take a lot of effort to get there. If you stop porn today, here's a list of possibilities that will start showing up in your life. When I was in the storm, I never imagined any of these being a possibility. None of them. It took years of personal development for me on all this. I took supplements, I read all the books, I even took acupuncture, you name it. I couldn't reach this stuff. I couldn't figure out what was wrong, but nothing was working. I ended up attributing that everything in the previous slide, the side effects in the previous slide were just genetics, and that stress, fatigue, depression, low self-esteem, and compulsion were just all part of my DNA. But when I stopped porn, I began to experience all these transformations on this screen. Again, notice the majority of these do not pertain to sexual issues. Today, I can sit here and tell you I now live and experience every one of these possibilities. I look at the clarity, the focus, the passion, endless energy, re-engagement in hobbies, loving my job. Well, now I work for myself, but I love it. So what does transformation look like for you? If you quit porn forever, which one on this list would you love to experience? If your list is large, I can help you expedite your recovery from years to just a few weeks. I can help you move from just existing and living with your recovery to having a breakthrough and allowing you to rid yourself of porn forever, to having a transformation and living your most ultimate life. So, what makes me so qualified? I have been through it all. I was massively depressed. I was unmotivated. I was numb to life, and I watched a lot of porn. A lot of sick and twisted stuff, and it left me with full-on erectile dysfunction whenever I wanted to sleep with a girl. In addition, I ended up hooked on opioids, and I was hooked on cocaine. I tried everything I could to get off of it. I read every motivational book, watched every inspirational video. I even went to seminars, and nothing seemed to work. But rather than give up, I spent time, years, figuring it out, and I finally came up with the 7 disciplines necessary to quit all of my addictions. It was March 21st, 2017, when I stopped porn and masturbation. And shortly after that, I was able to overcome my opioid and cocaine addiction. I do not claim that I have cured every addiction, but mine all started with me curing porn. And from there, I transformed my life. As you see here, I'm not special. If I can do it, you can do it too. And in the 3 short years since I quit porn and masturbation, here are the transformations that occurred in my life. In 2017, I became a documentary film producer and I won my first Emmy. In 2018, I won another Emmy. In 2019, I won a 3rd Emmy. And in that same year, I found my soulmate. And in 2020, I became a certified porn and sex addiction recovery coach. And also this year in 2020, I became financially independent. And also this year, I got engaged to the love of my life. All of that happened in the short 3 years, almost 3.5 years since I stopped porn. So as you can see, I have been through it all. I hit rock bottom, climbed out of it, and achieved more than I could possibly ever imagine. So what did I do? I went back and I traced all the steps and I created the roadmap to navigate all the landmines so I could help men just like you to get to the other side of transformation. That indeed is the purpose that revealed to me along my journey. So how did I do it? I'm going to discuss the very first step and most important of the 7 disciplines that I learned that are necessary to stop watching porn forever. What is it? Number 1 is understanding the brain science. And what about that? It's more than a mindset. A lot of people just think they can think their way through it or bowl their way through it. It's not. Understanding the addictions take more than just mindset to change. My addictions arose because I simply let my brain build over many years and evolve without any deliberate plan to control my own empowerment. Instead, the brain just reacted in ways to all the external stimulus, experiences, and information that happened in and around my life. I lived my entire life in reaction, and most of us live that way. Once I mastered an understanding the brain science and learned how I could develop and steer and rewire it, utilizing the other disciplines, this became the golden ticket. I took a deep understanding of many of the neurotransmitters that we have in our brain, but primarily dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and norepinephrine, and understanding that the role that these neurotransmitters had in creating addictions through neuroplasticity. So what is neuroplasticity? It's the ability of the brain to form new connections and pathways and change how its circuits are wired. I will say real quick, the big misconception that you see a lot on the internet is that dopamine is the neurotransmitter that is released at orgasm or at a moment of high reward, such as a big gambling win or something. It's not. It's the neurotransmitter that starts being released before a high reward moment and builds anticipation. The more dopamine being released, the more excited and motivated you become. I go into this way more in detail into the science of my online program. However, in simple terms, through our entire life, our brain is wiring memories and experiences toward reactions and feelings. And marketing companies are amazing at being able to trigger these in us. And that's why they're so effective. The key is understanding that this does not have to be reactive. Using the other disciplines that we're going to talk about, we can become deliberate and proactive in rewiring our neural pathways that create negative behaviors to pathways that create powerful and empowering behaviors. We, in essence, trick the brain into loving to do the hard things. In the other disciplines, we learn how to create and manipulate the specific neurotransmitters to create the change in neuroplasticity. Thank you for sitting in. It is my mission to serve you, and you have proven yourself to be one of the very elite by sitting through all this and having made it this far. One more difference between the 1% elite and the rest of everybody else who is in a rut is the elite 1% takes action. Now it's your turn to take action. If you want to learn more on how to retrain your brain, click the link in the description below, and I will send you a free video explaining all 7 disciplines that are required to stop porn forever and transform your life. It starts right now, this moment, this second. It's up to you. Are you going to choose to hold on to the excuses that have always held you back, or are you going to finally choose to have the results that you deserve? I'm here to help in any way possible. The world needs a happy, wonderful, inspiring you. It does not need another victim.